Burkina Faso has not yet released the 11 Nigerian soldiers that are in their custody after the Nigerian jet to land, military jet to land in Bobo Dialosis airport because it violated its airspace. Now, the government of Burkina Faso, alongside the Sahel nation, are pushing for criminal indictment for these 11 soldiers, that they should be court-martialed, and if found guilty, they should be sentenced to life imprisonment. Nigeria government under Bola Ahmed Tinubu has actually called for the immediate release, that these soldiers landed in Burkina Faso on the basis of an emergency they had with their fighter jet, that their military jet was heading to Portugal for a mission in Portugal. They had something to do in Portugal. That's why their fighter jet actually entered in Burkina Faso airspace and had a mechanical challenge and had to land in Bobo Dialosis for an emergency landing. That is making use of international protocol, because according to international protocol, if a fighter jet or a plane is flying and discover that it has mechanical issues, it has a right to seek for emergency landing in the nearest airport possible, even if they have been restricted from accessing the airspace. But on this other hand, Burkina Faso is rejecting the allegation being brought forward, or the explanation being brought forward by Nigeria. Burkina Faso says that Nigerian government is lying because first, the military jet did not land on an emergency base, that the military jet actually landed because Burkina Faso's military intercepted it and forced it to land, or they were going to shoot down the jet, and all the 11 military men alongside the jet was going to perish. So they said Burkina Faso has indicated that the jet in Nigeria did not land by mechanical error. That if at all it was a mechanical error, why is it that the military jet of Nigeria did not contact Bobo Dialosis airport officials for an emergency landing? Did not call them that, hey, we are in your airspace, we are having challenge, we want to do an emergency landing, can you clear the runway for us to land? Burkina Faso said that was not done, and that even if it is a pilot that is not trained or partially trained or a new flyer, will understand that when you enter an airspace, you are supposed to at least call. When you have a security challenge, you are supposed to call to say, Mayday, Mayday, 34 Boeing 345 Nigerian airport, identify yourself, identify the crew member on board, actually explain the mission that you were going to and why you need an emergency landing and why the runway be cleared for you so that you should land, based on the fact that you had mechanical fault. That never happened. So they also said they contacted Portugal, the Portuguese authority, because Nigeria under Asubajo Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a town hall different from Bolaba, claimed that they were going to Portugal. So the Faso government said they also carried out an immediate inquiry with Portugal to find out if Portugal and Nigeria were having some kind of a military deal or training, that this jet was actually going to Portugal. To their greatest surprise, that Portugal says they know nothing about the jet, and that they had no idea about the fact that Nigerian military were coming to Portugal, and they had no meeting with Nigerian military coming from Nigeria to Portugal, which means that Portugal actually said no, Nigerian military was not coming to Portugal. They now bring the question, if Portugal has actually become the Judas Iscariot, or the Peter that denied Jesus 3 times, the question now is, where was the Nigerian Air Force heading to? Why was the Air Force heading to where it was going to just 2 days before ECOWAS declared a state of emergency in their triangle? Why? Who is hiding what? Why is it that it occurred at the same time that France was carrying out an airstrike in Benin under the guise of Nigeria, after they had asked the Nigerian Air Force to fly to Benin, so that France can use that cover and bomb Benin, hiding that it is Nigeria that was bombing Benin under ECOWAS? So Burkina Faso now, they say they are seeking for a life imprisonment for these 11 soldiers that they will be charged to court, because Nigeria has failed to show sufficient proof that these individuals actually were not in Burkina Faso for spying. That they will be charged for espionage. They will also be charged for directly plotting to actually assassinate Burkina Faso's president Ibrahim Traore. A lot of allegations are coming up. Now, some of you, before you come and criticize this, remember that any plane, if it has a mechanical fault, what the pilot will simply do is that if you enter an airspace and you realize that it is a hostile space and you have a mechanical fault, simply mayday, over, Boeing 3, Nigerian Air Force, 11 man on board, en route to Portugal, for mission X, having mechanical challenge, permission to land, over. Then the air traffic controller will now contact emergency government service for that to happen. It happened within a very short period of time. Now, when you contact government officials, the military commander-in-chief now will not give permission, grant them permission to land, they secure the perimeter, make sure that they are secured, also investigate what is happening. It may be a mayday, but maybe there's something happening. That was never done by Nigerian military. So Nigeria is claiming that Faso is holding their plane, trying to breach protocol. Also note that Nigeria had closed its airspace for Burkina Faso, closed its airspace for Niger. Among all the ECOWAS members, Nigeria is the one that has closed its airspace as enforcing airspace from Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. And this is also coming at the time when Tinubu and Emmanuel Macron have now entangled themselves in a new found friendship. It is life imprisonment that Faso is seeking. Nigeria government una go explain tire. Una go explain tire. Watch the video.